All right, good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Duvet right here on GHOne television. My name is Natalia, and just like we do every Saturday night, we are about to take you all over again. Tonight we're talking about the playboy. We're talking about the ladies' man, or I don't know if they say playgirl, but we're talking about, you know, the man's woman, if you may. These people usually are very attractive. They love to live on the edge, definitely on the wild side. And for some reason, there are some particular people who are very attracted to that. So that is our conversation tonight. Would you date a playboy? Would you date someone who lives on the wild side, gets with almost every woman, or all the women clamor around this man? That is our conversation tonight on Duvet, right here on GHOne television. My name is Natalia. Now tonight, my guest, I have Samson Erijua. Samson, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. Beautiful evening. What did you do before coming here? A beautiful night. 10 p.m. is definitely night. What did you do before coming?
I drove before I got here.
You drove before you got here. Good answer. Good answer. And then I have Puska Karina, who's an actress. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Welcome to Duvet.
Thank you so much.
And then Kelly Cobby Blues, who is the CEO of KKB Studio B.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. KKB Studio B. You're welcome to Duvet.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to jump into the conversation, right? When we say that someone is a playboy, or when you hear a playboy, what exactly comes to mind? Let me start with you, Kelly. I'll start with you. You look like one, so yes. Let me start with you. Who is a playboy
I
or
keep
girl?
getting that a lot.
Oh, you get that a lot?
Yeah, and I keep asking, like, how do a player looks like? Because
The braided hair, the necklace, I put it together. I have a certain look.
So your question again.
Who is a playboy or girl?
So a player.
A player. Who's a player?
I would say a player is someone who doesn't know what they want. There are some people that like to explore.
Okay.
Their fantasies. You get it? They are outwardly, they are very nice looking. So, you know, they get attracted to, and they're sweet talking. Very, very, very sweet talking.
So anyone who's nice looking outwardly is a player?
No, I didn't say everyone.
Okay.
I said naturally, most of the majority.
Majority of them.
If you're not that nice looking, if you're not charming, if you're not beautiful,
You
it'll
can't
be
be a
difficult
player.
to get your, you know,
To get people
your
to...
game.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they are sweet talking. They are attention givers.
Okay.
They are very, very, very good with their words. You know, they can make you dream of Wonderland.
I'll be lie.
Or be like, it be setting.
Interesting. I love your definition of who a player is. Okay, Puska, tell me, what would you make your definition of who a player is?
Well, players, I refer to them as promiscuous people.
Okay.
Who disguise under the influence of being a player.
Right. They are promiscuous people.
Very promiscuous.
Okay. Right. All right. So, Samson, tell me, when we say a player, what exactly do you have in mind?
Okay, when you say player, just like the word sounds, someone who knows how to play the game. And now we're talking about relationship. So who is a player in terms of relationship? A player in terms of relationship to me I would say someone that can handle more than one relationship. So once you are into multiple relationship, that makes you a player, boy or girl.
Right.
So
the ability to handle more than one relationship
makes you a player.
Makes you a player.
Female or male?
Male or female?
Same.
Interesting. So in that regard, would you say that, for instance, if there's a married woman or a married man that is seeing another person on the outside of their marriage, would that make them a player as well?
Automatically.
Automatically.
Because in English, we only have singular and plural. And plural start from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. That's
So
very
once
interesting.
it's plural, you're already a player.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And would you say that for people who do this, because I love your explanation of who a player is, anybody that handles more than one relationship, which is very common in today's world.
Exactly.
Seriously.
And in situations where you can't handle it perfectly, obviously you are not a player.
Right. You
Players
need to
handle it perfectly
you
without
need
being
to-
caught.
Without being caught. Seamlessly. You know? Where everybody actually feels like they are the only one. Wow.
Get it?
Interesting. Would you say that for people who play, yeah? Would you say that their problem is commitment? Would you say, why would anybody want to handle more than one relationship? Like, I mean, you can comb through the town and decide on the one relationship that you want and keep it. So why would people want to handle more than one relationship? Is it a commitment issue? Is it for fun? What is it?
I think they don't know what they want. That's number one. And number two, maybe they feel they could have all that is at their disposal.
How can a person not know what they want?
We have people like
I
that.
think everybody knows what they want.
So
All right.
in that aspect, I think if we have to come from the aspect of not knowing what you want, there are cases where you might be attracted to a woman. For a guy like me now, you might be attracted to a woman over a particular thing about the woman. What do I say? Maybe you are attracted to the woman because of the front side, or you are attracted to the woman because of the back side, or because of their facial look, or the way they talk. Now, the problem of multi-dating is when you now see something else
In another woman.
that you still like.
Right. Okay.
You understand? So sometimes it might be, if you are someone that even like only the front side, you might see one front side and see another one that looks better than the one you saw before.
Yeah, but
Yeah?
in that regard, it will never end.
No, it will never end. That is why it comes from where the fact of, say, for people that doesn't know what they want. So the moment you are able to lay your hand on what you really want, you should be able to take your eyes off every other thing that looks like that. But that is what we are discussing, that a player is that person that cannot take their eyes off that thing they like. They already have one, but they're still seeing it in other places and they still want to like.
Right. Pusta.
Yeah, in addition to what he's saying, many of these people, these promiscuous people who disguise under the pretense of calling themselves players, most of them have high libido.
Okay.
Yes, most
men.
of the men
But
and
women
women.
both. Okay.
Yes, they cannot be sexually satisfied with one person. So they end up going after more guys and likewise the other sex. You understand? So most of them have high libido.
Right.
Yeah, the sexual,
Drive
feelings
is
is very high. The
Yeah.
drive is very high. So the person that they have cannot
Satisfy
them.
them.
But if the person you have cannot satisfy you, why are you settling down with that person? Since you know you are that type of person, keep playing or keep doing the thing you can do and forget about the person, because if you keep doing that, the person that is at home, the mental health will be at stake. You'll be causing problems for them. So all of these things is not really good. If you don't want to settle down, don't settle down. Don't keep somebody's child in the house and then you go out there doing all sorts of things. Whenever you come down, she's in pain. Lots of her mind is just disturbed with lots and lots of things. So there's more to this. Yeah.
There is more to it.
Yeah, there's more to this.
There's a whole lot more to it.
Very, very.
Kobe, tell me something. Do you think that sometimes, for some people, it's about validation? It's about, I'm enough. It's about, people can actually want me. It's about, it's about soothing maybe a certain part of them that never got a certain level of attention or affection.
Yes, because it goes way down to, trying to show off. If you're in a squad of, let's say, boys, you want to show off to your guys that, Charlie, you are the man. Yeah, you are the man of the game. You be the man. You get it. So it's kind of, it leads to validation, because you want people to realize that, you have the potential to get whoever you want.
Right.
As easy as ABC, yeah.
As easy as ABC. And I know that I like where you brought this conversation to, and I know that for some men too, it's a conversation with friends. Like,
Yeah.
okay, this particular girl, I'm going to, give me 2 weeks, I'm going to get her.
Pum.
And then, he says pum. And then they do the whole, you know, let's put a bet on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this, she's going to start sending me this and that before 2 weeks comes to an end. Why would anybody do that? Why do men do that?
Still to me.
Why do some men do that?
Why do some men do that? Yeah, why?
Because as I said, they want to prove to people that they have what it takes to get whoever they want. You get it? And in as much as we all know that players are all promiscuous people, that's not the whole motive. Some people go for financial reasons. You get it? So just like, let's say, female players, they don't really come to the men for sex.
Right.
They come
oh,
for
they come for
the dough.
money.
The money.
Oh, so it's like the more the merrier.
You get it? So,
I saw somebody's post. It said that if one boyfriend can make you happy, imagine having 5.
Yes. So she could be at the club with her friends, and then a guy will walk in, and then she'll be like,
Right.
damn,
Okay.
I have to get this guy. And then she'll walk and then go and entice, go and dance, and to attract the man. Definitely, you know, men, we like what we see.
Okay.
So the man will see you dancing and blah, blah, blah. You know the man is married from his ring or something, but then you still get the vibe, you take your number, blah, blah, blah. You went for a purpose.
I want
Right.
to come in. What is he saying?
Okay.
You, the man, you know you are married. If she comes for your number, that is the place you are going to show your dignity, your pride that you are a married man. You don't flirt.
Yeah.
So whenever she comes out to you, you go and tell her, no, I'm married.
I'm married.
Yes. So you, the man yourself, you have a problem, a serious problem.
Yeah, most men have problems. I know you ladies, when we come to you and then we said we want to be friends.
Yeah.
I meet you at the club and I said I want to be friends with you. You definitely know in your head I'm not coming for friendship.
No.
But you still give out your number.
At default with you because
Yeah.
other people, they go to club, they meet people, some
Yes.
business. You go there and meet business people. It's not only about
But
flirting and dancing.
You will agree with
90%
me.
of
There
the
are
time.
there are cases of relationships out of sympathy.
Sympathy. Okay. Tell me more.
Just from what he was saying, a lady comes to you where you are chilling and is around you, you have fun in the club, you exchange numbers, and the next thing you might even see the kind of messages that are coming. It's like you have automatically become a therapist.
Yeah,
Somebody wants to tell you her problems. Not financial problem or physical problem, but emotional problems. Like, you want to help, and how do you help?
Okay.
I'm not talking about financial, we're not talking
Yeah.
about physical.
Somebody's coming to tell you, and
And
I was with this guy,
there are even
and he
situations-
did this
Yeah.
to me,
There are
and he was doing
situations
that
the
to
person
me.
wants to take her life.
Right.
And
And so
if the best way to come in, I'm sure you will agree with me, is to be a good guy.
is to be a good guy.
So I will leave it at there.
Right.
so
and
how
so,
do-
so out of that compassion, you start a relationship with her.
Not a relationship,
But what?
your player thing.
Situationship.
Situationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to ask,
Okay.
if a person come out to you and explain their situations, the only way to help them out is by going there?
No, it's not going
Yeah, I
there.
wanna
It's just
know.
it's a
You can
fact.
also you can also talk to the person,
Yeah.
advise them
Definitely,
positively,
that's where it starts from.
and then start from there. You don't have
Yeah.
to, because the person is downhearted, you want to go or find, you want to use that means to take the advantage of entering that
We
person.
are
That
talking
is
about
bad.
situation of the person you are even concerned
Yeah,
about.
you can say consult. You can so consult this person without
So
being
how about
penetrating.
you get the information, you get the news that the person already taken her life because you were not able to help.
So it's only you that, if you don't talk to what you're going to take her life, they have other people.
But
I think this
Yeah.
topic is very personal. It's very personal.
Oh boy. Right. So tell me something. Are there people who will know that, for instance, I would know that Kobe is a player, and I'll say that, oh, I really don't mind. I
Yeah.
like him. I want to be with him, even though I may be aware that this is a man who, you know, gets with different women all the time. Are there people who deliberately date players?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
You see, when you talk about players, like I said earlier, the ability for those people to handle more than one relationship makes them the master of the game. You know, I personally, when I was in school, I had a friend that is actually a player, and we were far from his stairs then. Like, the girls that comes to him, they already know that there's somebody there. But the truth is the benefit.
Right.
The benefit.
Okay.
The benefit keeps hooking up these girls to want to be there, undermining what is going on there.
Okay, so when you say the benefit, what exactly?
Then when we are in school, I think the benefit was mostly financially for you to be able to keep up your studies, the lot of expenses that are in school. To mention but a few, you know what it means to be in school. So you see, there are some of these girls, my friend used to pay their school fees.
Okay.
So imagine someone that will pay your school fees when you are really almost losing your exams because of not being able to pay your school fees. I'm sure some of them, they were just wishing that, please come and take me and pay my fees. Come and take me and pay my fees.
Right.
So you see this. So most times I will attribute it to benefits.
Benefits.
Yeah, that makes people to want to date a player.
Right. Okay, so that's from a woman's, so from a woman to a man, a woman is looking at, I will benefit from this man.
Yes.
But there are also men who would know that this girl is a player and want to date the girl. For them, what is it?
Benefits as well.
Benefits as well?
Same way I had a friend in school then. His own way of surviving is through girls that take care of him.
Right.
Now he has more than 3 girls that they come to visit us in school. And whenever they are coming, they come properly like, I'm going to see my man.
Right.
They come with luggages and even cash.
Okay.
Now when that one go,
Another one will
another
come.
will come by next weekend. Then they are coming from different campuses.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? So in that case too, my friend was also into that
Benefiting.
because of the benefits.
Right.
So we ended up like, Alpha, like that your girl, I think the money you bring last time, you have paid your fees. As this one come and I enjoy it, you know now. So the next thing now, we know that he has paid his fees. This other girl that came now, it means we are going to enjoy this season. If another one come again, we are going to enjoy throughout the exam period, and that's how it is. So it all boils down to benefit.
That means he's a parasite. Yeah.
But then, listening to what he said,
Yeah,
both parties
understand
are
that his point
benefiting.
is well
Yeah.
taken.
And
not,
it's player to player.
Yes.
It's player to player.
Yeah.
If the guy is dating, let's say your friend, a female,
I just gave instances of
Yes,
female
I
and
like,
instances
I
of
like
male.
your
in
answer,
both
but I'm saying
instances,
that guy is a parasite.
both people are, players, not the different scenarios, but each scenario, a player can easily date a player
Yes.
because they are both up to their game.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Won't
Because
they know?
they can know.
It's
But
difficult
they don't care.
It's difficult.
I think so.
It's difficult for a player
So
to date a player.
in this case, it means that there's no end in sight. We're not looking for a future. It's here and now.
Exactly.
So,
Then
having
no
a
one is being played. There's no player there.
having a relationship with a player means that there's no end goal, right?
Yeah.
It is
Sometimes there is.
where the end goal is what?
People don't just become, if as bad as you think they are, they don't just wake up one day and then they become that.
And they can't
Things
continue like
propel
that.
people to be what they become. Do you get it? So let's say a female will not just go around playing men out of no reason. Maybe she's been traumatized. She has gone through heartbreak. She has been raped. There are so many reasons. A man does not
Financial.
just stand up and then become a player. Do you get it? Maybe he has never loved before. Then his first love tore his heart into pieces, threw it in the ocean. So then he's heartless. He's a man walking without a heart. What are you expecting? He's searching for love, but he doesn't know what it feels anymore because he's heartless.
Okay. On that note, I think you can seek a counselor instead of going around before you contact some diseases, infection, HIV, STD, gonorrhea. Yes, because your health is wealth.
Yeah,
so
but
on this note, it's advisable that you get a counselor or other people to counsel you instead of you, carrying yourself astray.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So, do these people, players, do they ever fall in love, as in proper fall in love?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what he just mentioned. Because at a point, you might be in and you are out. You stay out till you get in again. That's why people don't get heartbreak just once.
Right.
The dangerous people are people
You
that
can be
they used to
heartbroken. You
play.
say you don't want to do again. till sometime again somebody will also win your heart again.
Exactly.
So in
They
the
become
middle
the
of
dangerous
playing
people.
and playing and playing,
A
for
player
a guy,
who fell in love and has been played.
there are some.
Oh, so that's like double played.
Oh God.
Then they become very dangerous.
Yeah, and even as they are very dangerous, you can never tell the end. You can never tell the end because
So what can get a player to fall in love?
Of course.
everything.
What can get them to fall in love?
Okay, maybe the player got frustrated and they met this player and what they were expecting in the other person, the person never had, and they met this player and they fell in love with them. So they can get married. Anything can happen. So yeah, players can fall in love
People
and get
start
married.
relationships based on
There are a
wrong
lot-
reasons.
yes.
Okay.
A young lady can date an old man
Yes.
just for financial reasons. You get it? Because she'll never want to ever settle down with such a man
Yeah.
if you asked her like years before. But
Yeah.
then she's giving herself out to the man due to the financial benefits. But she'll go into it and then she realizes that aside the money, the care, the attention, the
love.
love the
happiness
man
in the
is
family.
showing her is more than what maybe her younger boyfriend is doing. You get it? Then by the time she realizes she's in love.
She's in love.
She's in love. So you end up seeing these young women marrying the elder men.
The older men.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plan is not to fall in love, but you can start a relationship with someone and end up falling in love.
You hit
But
a
if you're a
stone.
player, aren't you like on guard?
Yeah.
And let me tell you
But
something.
even if you're on guard,
If you're a player,
There's a
you're on
saying-
guard. Like, you have guarded your heart against falling in love. Isn't
See-
that the game?
Man,
The Holy
love,
Spirit works.
sometimes
They
the
love
guard that
have
you
no
are
bounds.
placing, the guard you are placing is based on your past experience.
Right.
So when you are placing your guard, sometimes mostly you are placing the guard against some particular arrows. So you know,
So if somebody comes and
from a different angle, they can
from a
easily enter
different
you.
angle
Yeah.
without arrows,
You
they
can
can
be taken.
penetrate the
Yes,
guard.
you can take him. You can be taken.
And then before you know it,
you are in love.
man
you are,
down.
And then when you are in love,
You have to go
maybe
to save the date.
that person who made you fall in love is a master planner.
Yeah.
Before you know
A
it,
master
man down. Man down. Okay, so do players all exhibit the same techniques?
Not at all.
No.
They all have different techniques.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's talk about some of the techniques. What do you know? Or what have you done? Or what do you do?
I've not played before.
So yeah, that's why I asked 3 different questions. What do you
I'm
know?
answering first.
What have you done? Or what do you do? So choose one and answer.
As I said, I've not played before.
Okay.
But knowing people who have played before, being their friends, the promiscuous stuff, yeah.
Like what?
Going after girls just because of the sex, yeah.
So that is the technique. So typically when a player is going after a girl, what are some of the things they do, or what are their techniques to get a girl?
You know, men know that women love attention, like 100% attention, the calling, the texting. I used to have a friend and then we're in the same dorm. I asked him, how does he do it? He has like, let's say 5 girlfriends and he's able to have time for each and every one. Whilst he's talking to one, he's actually chatting with one. He can call you, ask you, how are you doing? Have you eaten? What will you do? I find those things to be work.
It is work.
You see, but women love that. So between a guy who can give you that kind of attention and then someone who is actually doing that, you usually fall for such a guy.
Yeah, women do love
Yeah.
that. Women, we definitely love that. So what that means is that
Attention.
anytime a guy is giving you a lot of attention, he's a player.
I tell my female friends that when you're getting too much attention from a guy, there's a big red flag. Yes, because he should be doing something. He should be working. I mean, there are things that at least, but too much attention, like, is a big problem. To me, I don't know for others.
Morning,
but
afternoon, night.
Yes, it's serious. It's a very big problem.
Yeah.
And also, these guys also use money. Whenever they see ladies sitting down, they want to use money to, buy these girls. So they'll be buying the most expensive drink. Or in fact, they'll even offer those girls, the girls are on their own, they'll just send some drinks and other stuff there. They want to show off that they have the money. So someone from among them might just say, oh, they won't have money. Let's see what we can get from other here. And then they start flirting as usual.
Right. So then they like to throw money around.
Yes.
Yeah? Something?
Yeah, for me, I think players, one of the basic character, like you said, is attention. And again, other than attention, they always not the attention they give to, not giving attention, but rather paying attention to what the opposite person really wants.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that makes a player a good player, because just having attention, like you want to talk, you want to test, might not hit the ball and into the net just as it ought to be.
Right.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is paying attention to what is really eating the person up. That is one great secret players work with. Because when you know what is eating the person, you just easily be able to. They say when the problem is known, it's half solved. Like somebody might just be, "Are you fine?" He said, "No, I'm not fine." But what's going on? Please don't worry. I don't want to bother you. Like, no, talk to me. Talk to me. I want to know.
So using the vulnerability of the person.
Yeah, but using the it doesn't come to being vulnerable yet. Now I'm talking about knowing what is really itching the person. You know, that is one good thing of a player, because you might just be thinking, maybe let me just buy KFC for her. Let me just buy food. Let me just buy dress for her. But you are far from what is even itching the person's head or itching the mind. So the ability to know, say, I think the way she's reacting, I think, and then you are able to think right. The person will always be like, wow, without even telling him, you know. So,
Mr. Right.
you get it.
Right. All right, so we're going to take a break. This is Duvet on GHOne television. My name is Natalia. Tonight, I am with Samson, Puska, and what's your name again? Director Kelly. All right, we're going on a quick break. Do stay tuned. We will be right back. On GHOne television, my name is Natalia. Tonight, I am with Director Kelly Cobby Blues. I'm with Puska and I'm with Samson. And we're talking about dating a player, having a relationship with a ladies' man or just a woman who's, you know, with everybody. The good, the bad, the ugly. That is our conversation tonight. And if you have any experiences to share, you do know that we are streaming live on all our social media platforms. We're on X, we're on YouTube, we are on Instagram, and we are on Facebook, GHOne television. So let's talk about exclusivity, right? It's a very dicey word to use in a relationship in recent times, right? Because people sometimes are in relationships and then they agree that, yes, Kelly, you and I are dating, but we're not exclusive. Means that I can see other people if I so desire. You can see other people if you so desire. What would you call that type of relationship?
Open relationship.
Open relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. How is that different from dating a player?
Well, that relationship is open, meaning you have a choice to see other people. But dating the player, it is his choice to play people.
Right.
He gets, and with open relationship, both parties are aware that, okay, my partner can, you know, have fun outside there, I don't mind. I can have fun outside there, she wouldn't mind. But with playing, most of the times the people don't know that they are being played until last minute.
Are you sure they don't know?
Yes, most times.
Most times they don't.
When we're talking about being played, it means you don't know what's going on. That means you are being played.
Right.
But open
You have
relationship,
no idea
Yeah, you have no
what's
idea.
happening
Yeah, that means you are being played.
until you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people usually find out eventually.
Not usually, unusually. It's not a usual thing to find that.
So, but what if sometimes the person may know that they are being played, but they don't mind because they're also playing you.
Then it's an open relationship.
Yeah.
Where only one
one is
party
an
is
open
aware.
relationship. You see, there are people that have been played, and from being played, they end up getting married, you know? So there was no time you even realized that you were being played. Because to you, you were in a relationship, and the relationship ended in marriage.
Yeah, but marriage is not the end, right?
No,
you
it's
can
not.
still be in the marriage and they
Yeah,
are still.
no, but what we're saying is, okay, when you are now in marriage, you are having your husband and wife as it ought to be, from being played earlier.
Right.
Because sometimes when we say...
But sometimes you would prefer to be played than to be married, because the marriage won't give you anything different. It's just the title you get. But you may be with a man who do the same things that he was probably doing with you when you were in a relationship and he was playing you.
But I know to women, marriage is ultimate. So at least you say
that is the peak of every woman's achievement.
It's not all women, sorry.
I'm saying
marriage ends
women.
is the peak of every woman achievement.
No.
It is.
It's the peak. Did you say
not.
marriage?
For some women, not all, my dear.
Majority.
Really?
That is
Thank
the
you.
peak.
Some women,
Okay,
not all.
Samson, you're going to have to repeat that. You said marriage is the peak of every
woman's career, like every woman's life.
No.
The peak of every woman's life is marriage?
Yes.
No.
Majority.
So if the woman doesn't marry, then what?
You will still be searching. You will
Searching
still
for
want to
what?
marry.
Why would I search? If I just choose, I don't want to have nothing to do with me. What would I be searching for?
No.
So what you're saying is that...
Searching for what?
Okay, Samson, so what you're
searching
saying is that any woman that is not married is incomplete?
Exactly.
No, I would say no to that.
How so?
Yeah, a new woman that is not married at the time that they are supposed to get married.
What time are they supposed to get married?
What time do you think every woman should get married?
I don't know. You
don't
are
know?
saying it, so tell me.
Okay, well, does a woman have what we call menopause? Would a woman marry after menopause? No, so the age before menopause is at the age where you should get married. No man want to go and marry a woman that is already in
I believe that's the African man mentality.
I'm sorry. So what you're saying right now, Samson, is that after a woman hits menopause, they cannot get married?
I'm not sure.
It's not true.
Why not?
For example, Rita Domine just got married in Nigeria. She passed her menopause. People can get married, they can even pass the menopause. What I'm trying to say here is that...
But Samson, why do you think that a woman cannot get married after she passes...
menopause?
Yeah.
Because I believe after menopause, you can no longer hit children.
So what you're saying, Samson, is that the only reason why anybody should get married is for children?
Not the only reason. It's one of the basic reasons why you are getting married.
Right.
Yes.
So if you have hit menopause, then there's no point in getting married because you can't have children.
Except maybe both people that are getting married already had their children differently before. That is the cases where you see people getting married after the menopause, after even in old age. The woman has the children, the man has the children. They are not getting married because of children.
Right.
Both of them have menopause.
Yes.
But you don't know cases where people get married and they don't want children?
Yeah, there are cases like that. It's different. It's very unrare. Even in 100, you cannot get up to 3 people that want to get married and don't want children.
Very, very interesting
So it's not
remarks.
Yeah, he said the every woman's dream or whatever is marriage. No. There's more to that.
No, it's not the dream, but it's
like,
the
it's
thing
not
that will
supposed to get married.
complete
It's not,
everything.
yeah, many people are in marriages today, they are regretting. They are going through a lot.
Yes.
So this marriage thing, the way people are packaging it is somehow.
No.
No,
well,
I'm talking from experience.
yeah, it's not about...
Have you been married before?
Oh, no. I'm not even ready for that.
You're not ready
But
for
I'm
that.
talking about from my parents' side. I've seen a lot. I've had a lot of experience on that. That's why I want to capitalize on that.
So
People are married, they are
said it
not
was
happy.
personal.
They are living a very sorrowful life. They are dying inside.
Right.
They are trying to keep in that marriage or stay in that marriage because of their children. Just because of my children, I should just be there. That's why many of these men will take these women, get married to them, pack them in a house, and be sleeping all around the place, doing all sorts of things. Yes. Like, I don't want to go to my family side because when I'm talking, it pains me a lot.
It pains you a lot.
Yes.
I can tell.
It hurts.
I can tell that you don't have a very good experience when it comes to that. I can tell. Interesting. But Samson, your comments, though, very...
Hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very correct.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
Unfortunately not correct at all. Not for me, for the world.
Okay.
I mean, you can't say that the ultimate for every woman is to get married.
No.
That is such a...
A hush.
Not harsh. It's
It's reality.
unrealistic.
That's the
reality.
African people
It's
mentality.
reality.
The African men, that's the mentality.
Reality.
Yes.
Okay. Where the reality is that every woman needs a marriage to be complete.
Yes.
It's not.
And Tyler, what he was trying to say is that, like, most women, not every woman though, but
Most women need a
yes.
marriage to feel complete or to be complete.
Most women. You see, why most women go to churches, you know, praying for marriages and stuff. You get it. You don't have men going to churches to pray, asking for marriage and all that. It's most women. I'm not saying all
Men are also
Right.
going there to
In the,
look for
in the
women.
world we live in today,
Right.
you agree with me that there is no lady above 30 years that the parents are not concerned about you having a
settling
man
down.
of your own. So it is, now come to think of it, the same parents that want you to bring a man home are the same parents that have been nurturing you from 1 day old till you became 30 years. And all that the father and the mother is wishing for is that as long as you have been successful in other areas, they are waiting for you to bring back a man, and also their children that will be the grandchildren. We are in Africa,
Yeah, man,
so
dear,
we
the
shouldn't
country-
just begin to
Liberia-
see it from
From my
this-
country,
yeah.
we don't have time for that. Yes,
Liberia.
I'm a
Yeah.
Liberian, a full Liberian.
the parents. They
The
don't
country
care
I'm
about
from-
the children getting married.
No, what the way you are saying it, that's what. No, in my country, the family we are from, that's the most families in Liberia. They give people their right to do what they want to do, but not on the negative side. If you decide to that, oh, I don't want to get married, they won't force you.
No.
They will ask you, like, you are free to do whatever you want to do. They shouldn't be banning on your children that, oh, because I
actually-
get better, you're forced to get married.
When we talk about Liberia, for example, if you say even if they are not getting married,
I say it's not forced.
no, it's not forced.
Yes.
But you agree with me that in that same Liberia, the people that are not even getting married, they've given birth out of wedlock.
My dear, in my country, that's
So
all I
now,
have
by the
time.
time you see that someone is saying he doesn't want to get married but have given birth out of wedlock, you have forfeited the issue of not wanting to get married, because you shouldn't have even gone into getting pregnant and giving a
I
baby,
believe
because that is
that
supposed to
should
come
be-
inside
that
marriage.
should be left with the person. That's their decision. I shouldn't
right,
say
very
because
interesting. Kobe,
I
tell
don't
me
want to get
something.
married, don't get married. If they want to
I'm-
get married, they can get
The-
married. If they don't
right.
want to get married, they will not get married.
I'm very interested in this conversation. So we say that, because I've heard something say that, okay, these are things that your parents will ask for,
Yeah.
right? At some point when they think you're old enough and you're
Yeah.
a woman, they say, you're going to bring a man home, give me grandchildren, this and that, this and that. Is it a situation or a case where do you think that it's a decision people make that I don't want to get married, or it's more a situation of, but I mean, you're going to have to find a man that is suitable enough
Okay.
in order to get married? Because the fact that you want to get married doesn't mean you'll get married to just anybody,
Yes,
right? So you need to make sure that you're doing it the right way. It's the reason why a lot of women have been married and unmarried.
Yeah.
Because then what's the point? And then there are the others who are still in marriages and they're just miserable because of all the things that are happening,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
So in the end, it's not even about the fact that, oh, marriage is the ultimate. Today's woman doesn't think marriage is the ultimate. Unfortunately or fortunately.
Okay.
Today's woman does not feel that way at all.
way.
Also because, and I think we had the conversation on radio the other time, also because these days women are pitching in a lot when it comes to marriages. Back in the day, when you're married, then the husband is doing almost everything,
Everything,
and the woman is just crossing her legs.
Yes.
These days, I know partners who are rotating bills.
Yes.
I'm doing this month, you're doing next month. They're doing 50-50. We're building, you're pitching in a 50% of the money, I'm pitching in 50% of the money. So it is not luxury for me, or I'm not here to benefit anything. Do you understand?
I get it.
And sometimes you find that
contributing.
the women are even doing more than the men. Sometimes
Of
you
course.
find that.
Whenever a woman wants to do.
So in this case, when you say that marriage is the ultimate for a woman, it's a very unfortunate statement to make.
It's a no.
Okay.
Kobe, tell me first of all your opinion. You were saying something, but you didn't end. Say that, and then we'll come back to the player conversation.
Okay, so as I was saying, I was just correcting where he said heavy woman, because it can't definitely be every woman. We have we have women that naturally they don't want to enter into marriage at all, not because of maybe they've had broken marriages before or they've had broken relationship.
Yeah.
They just don't want to get into it. It's their personal choice. You get, and we have people that have seen what other people have been through before and have scared them away from the whole marriage scene. So we have people that naturally don't want to go into it. And we have people that, women that feel they are self-established and being in marriage, they'll have their husbands controlling them, and then they don't want that. They want to be on their own. So they don't, everyone has reasons. So it can't be every woman. So I'll just say it can't be definitely every woman. But per my friends, I mean, the people I chat with, when we're growing up, you know, we all want to get married. It's a normal thing that most women would like to settle down. You get to have children. That's the ultimate. Have children and then maybe a life partner. You get it? But sometimes life situation changes us. We might want something. As we were growing up, we wanted to be doctors, lawyers. Now what are we?
Air hostess.
You get it? So growing up, we all have our dreams, our aspirations. But things change us. As we are growing up, then we are being faced with situations. We tend to look elsewhere for help. So it can't be every woman. Yes.
Right.
But then I still feel
on
that...
the marriage conversation, let's talk about a player in a marriage. Right?
Yeah.
We're talking about playing. It can be relationship, and Samson said that, you know, for a woman, if they upgrade you from girlfriend to wife, and then you have landed, according to Samson. But in a situation where you're in a marriage where your husband is still playing you, right? What do we do about that situation? How is that? Because in that regard, you are wife. So it's not like you're going to pick up your bag and walk away. You could, but it's a long process. You know, if you're a girlfriend, you can pick up your bag today, walk away, never look back. But when you're a wife, it's a whole other conversation. There may be kids involved. You may have businesses together, families. It's a long process. So it's not as simple. So how would you deal with that situation where you live with, it could be either partner, you live with a wife or husband who's still playing?
With you.
And you are aware of it.
You may be, you may not be.
But then if you're not aware of it, then there's no problem.
But typically, even if you're not aware, every now and again, you will see something or have somebody say something. Because sometimes what happens is that the person in the relationship, the other person in the relationship may not know things that are happening. But you may have people on the outside always showing you this and that, or telling you this and that.
The first thing is to confront the person that is playing you.
Your wife or husband.
Yes, that this is what I've been hearing, or this is what I've been seeing. These are signs and symptoms I'm seeing that shows that you are doing this and this and this. But why? If the person is able to open up to you and you think you can help the person out, you do that. Because maybe he will tell you, oh, he likes doggy style. You always complain you don't like doggy. You always do missionary. You get it? So now you start doing the doggy, and then maybe he will stop. Do you understand? Maybe he likes threesome. You don't like threesome. There are things that propel people to do what they do. So
these conversations were had before the marriage or after the marriage?
You know, people have really problems opening up about their fantasies. Their deeper fantasies. So maybe he's not able to open up to you. But now that you've been caught, you can open up.
But wouldn't that be unfair to the other party?
But it has happened already. You get it? So we are finding ways and means to move from that point. You understand? So if you try personal confrontation with the person is not working, maybe a family member that you know the person really is shy of or can easily open up to, or counseling, therapy. If all of those things don't work, then maybe you have to let go. Forgetting about the fact that there are children involved and all that. You just have to divorce because you are not happy. You are not happy in the relationship or the marriage that you are in. You've tried all your other options and it's not working, you see. But most of the times, women don't give those options. They find out now, hey, you are cheating. They run away, you get it. And they should know that everyone is flawed. Do you get it?
We all are.
Yes, everyone is flawed. So sometimes they shouldn't just be too quick to pack and go. You should try and then change the person.
But do you think that usually there's a conversation after someone is caught, right?
Yes.
If they were not caught, right?
They never tell the truth.
It's not about telling the truth. It's not something that it's something that they do because they enjoy doing. Right?
Yeah.
But then when they are caught sometimes, then it becomes like, oh, it's for this and that reason. And say all kinds of things. And usually, would you say that these people stop after they've been caught, or they re-strategize and still do the same thing differently so that you're okay?
Please, can I come in?
Yeah.
A cheat will always be a cheat. A flirt will always be a flirt. Probably that guy was a flirt before that person got married. So that's something that is in the DNA. What is in your blood, you can't put it except what is in your hand. Yes. So that person will continue to cheat. You knew the person was a cheat before you got married to them. So you have to endure.
People change.
Change? No.
You believe that?
People change, yes.
You believe that?
100% people change.
I don't believe that.
When you give people the chance.
I don't
they
believe
can
people change.
I do believe people
I don't
can
believe
change.
people change.
How do they change?
You said
I said a
your
flirt.
testimony, right?
A flirt
I don't
is
believe
a
people
flirt.
change.
A cheat
people
is a
can
cheat.
change.
Even if you get married, you'll still be cheating.
Something, do you think people
That's
change?
something that is part of you.
You don't think people change?
It's part of you.
I
So
don't think
like,
people change either.
You don't.
Change.
I think people are who they are.
Yes.
I don't think people change.
Yes.
I think people, mostly may lie to themselves and to people around them about certain things, but people don't change. And everybody has a pattern. I mean, I always say that. Everybody has a pattern, right? And that's how you tell who a person is. It is how criminals are caught. You know that. It is how serial killers are caught. It's always a pattern. They do it with everybody. If I spoke with 3 of your ex-girlfriends, I would know your pattern. And that is who you are. And you will never change.
Yeah.
So people don't change. I don't believe people change. People don't change. People may, try new things and whatever, but people are who they are. So when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Because people do not change at all.
People
can
do change sometimes
People don't change.
People can change.
consciously.
People don't change. How many
People-
people do you know that have changed?
A lot.
Really?
Yes. Natalia,
within
listen,
what-
a lady dating, let's say 3 men, and then maybe she's hoping to get something out of it. Maybe marriage or childbirth. She wants to settle down, but she doesn't want to put all her eggs in one basket by
Right.
dating just Kofi.
Right.
And then maybe after 7 years of relationship, Kofi says, I don't want to be with you. Then she's now about to start her whole life again.
Right.
So she's dating Kofi, she's dating Kwame, she's dating Kojo. Do you get it? At the end of the day, Kojo proposes. She's definitely going to tell those other 2 men that, I don't want this relationship, I don't see any future with this, so let's just end it. Do you
And
get
that's the
it?
case most times.
Pardon?
But
That
here's
is the
thing.
case most times.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Most ladies, they have to cut off every other relationship to get married to who is proposing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So she has
That
changed.
is always the case.
But what it is I don't even like this example because, but anyway, let's work with this example. So this lady in question, right? Let's say it's me, Natalia.
Yeah.
I'm dating both of you, maybe because I'm looking for something. You give me
Okay.
small, you give me small, I'm happy with it. But you put your offer on the table and I agree to marry you, so I let him go.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can give me everything you want.
Thank you.
At some point, if you can't give me everything I want, I will find another person. That is how people don't change. Do you understand?
Yeah.
People will always be who they are
Then Natalia,
because it serves a certain something deep down in them. So they become the person that. So, for instance, if you know anyone who lies about pregnancy, okay, you know the women who lie about pregnancy.
Yeah.
In every relationship, they'll come and say, "I'm pregnant." They are lying.
Okay.
Okay. If you know those women, if you ask every single one of their exes, she's done it to all of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. If you know a woman who steals money, yeah, a kleptomaniac or she's done it with every single one of them. Maybe if you talk to her secondary school people or his secondary school, they'll tell you, oh, this guy, he used to steal from this dorm, that dorm, that dorm, that dorm. People do not change.
So if
it's the circumstances around the situation that will make you believe that they may have changed. So let's imagine if some girl was a kleptomaniac. She would take this and that and that, right? Because she needed it, or that's how she felt. Maybe at some point she'll get with a rich guy who will give her the thing she needs. So she may not have a need to steal.
Yeah.
So you will think she has changed.
Yes.
But that is not what it is. What it is that her needs or what her craving is has been met at that moment. If that rich guy is no longer there and she's in a situation where she needs something, whoever is around or whatever is around, she will take it.
So at the moment she changed.
No,
She
But
didn't
then
change.
something
She
propelled.
should only pause.
She didn't
If
change.
people don't change,
There's
why do
no,
we put
she
criminals
didn't
in prison then?
Listen,
We should
she
just kill
didn't
them.
change.
Because there's no reform.
No. It's not about that.
Natalia,
It's not about that. It's not. It's not. There is reformation. There is definitely reformation, right?
Yes.
Which is change.
No, which is not change. Reformation is not change. Change is, right, to know who a person truly is.
Okay.
And the only way you know who a person truly is when you push them against the wall. When somebody is not against the wall, you never know who they are. Don't get it confused. When somebody is comfortable, when anybody's in their comfort zone, you can't see their true selves. Let me tell you something. If I'm holding a cup of coffee right now, right, and somebody pushes me, what will come out of the cup is coffee, right?
Yes.
If it is Milo that will come out.
Yeah.
If it is whatever it is what will come out. When anybody is pinned against the wall, their true self will come out. But you will never see that in their comfort zone. So when you're dealing with someone in the comfort zone, don't be deceived to think that you know who they are. You don't. So when somebody is in a comfort zone where, what they need is being provided, whatever, why would they steal? If somebody is giving me everything I need, and even if I'm a thief or I've been a thief all my life, and I'm getting everything I need, what is there to steal?
So if I'm to understand,
But if I'm not getting what I need,
You will
I
steal.
will steal. And that is the true me. That is who I am.
Okay, so to you, the wife example that you gave, the scenario that you gave, she finding out the man is a player, the best thing is then the woman should just leave, because that man can never change.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
When a man is what? A player.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
but the
caught,
scenario that
caught
you
by,
gave.
caught by
Like-
the wife
Yes.
or by the girlfriend.
Caught by the wife.
Yes.
Or the girlfriend.
So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll address that. This is Duvet on GHOne Television. My name is Natalia. I am with director Kelly Kobe Blues. I am with Puska and I'm with Samson. And we're talking about playing in relationships, something that we're all too familiar with. Quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. This is Duvet on GHOne Television. My name is Natalia, and I still stand by what I said. People do not change.
And I want to comment on that.
Allow me to acknowledge Tweens and Teens Spa. They fixed my nails for me this week. I had such a great time at the spa. Tweens and Teens, they are located at West Legon, 52 Afroche Street, right behind Starbites in West Legon. Connect with them on IG and on TikTok, tweens.teens.spa. Now, back in the studio, you said that if a man cheats, right, then the woman should just conclude that he'll never change and leave him.
Yes.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. I'm saying that per your
Per my-
explanation
yeah,
that people
but-
don't change.
Yeah, so
then-
here's what. So here's what. The analysis would be, is this the first time he's cheating? Then whoever the woman is, you have homework to do. Is this the first time he's cheating? Is he a chronic cheater? You can find out from his past relationship, is this what he used to do all the time? If you find out and that's what it is, then you know that's what you're dealing with. So now you have a decision to make. And I know that a lot of women make those decisions based on how comfortable the situation is, right? Because these days, the possibility of any man you're getting with to cheat is really high. So, does this man take care of me? Does he make me feel good? Does he provide for me? Are my children happy? Are we happy? Is he giving us everything we need? And you weigh that against he's a cheater and decide what you want for yourself. And that's an individual decision. Some women can tolerate cheating, some women cannot. So you decide for yourself as a person, can I tolerate this? If you can, fair enough. If you cannot, you pack your bags because that is not about to change.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Natalia, has there been nothing about you that you've changed growing up, like something, a bad trait, a bad character, that maybe your parents, someone has talked about that you've actually changed? If no, then you still have it?
I have not changed. I have grown, right? There are things I believed in a long time ago that I don't believe in anymore. You know, there's so many things that are different, but I haven't changed.
So you're that same person with that same character?
When you say character, I don't know what that is supposed to mean.
No, I'm saying maybe
But
something that someone has seen.
I am very bubbly, happy-go-lucky. I want to have my fun. I want to eat good food. That has never changed. My fundamentals. So maybe that's what we should. Every human being has their fundamentals.
Yes.
My fundamentals have never changed. It will never change.
Okay.
You can't build a foundation for a 3-bedroom and hope that after you build it, you can turn it into a 7-bedroom. No, the foundation is set. That is what it is. It can only accommodate a 3-bedroom.
So change cannot happen when it's the person's foundation.
Yes.
But then it can happen when it's not a foundation.
Oh, please. Any grown person, the minute you hit 30, yeah, you're set in your ways. You can't tell me nothing. It is the reason why people would argue all the time, because somebody says, let's press toothpaste from bottom, let's press it from top, let's wash dishes in the morning after we eat, let's wash it the night before we... You know why? Because if I've lived with my parents for, I don't know, 20 years, and we would always wash dishes the morning after, and I meet you and you tell me, let's wash it in the night, I think you're mad. And you also think I'm mad because that's what you know. That's what you've acknowledged as right and wrong, really. Apart from crime, okay, apart from the things that are criminal, that anybody can be jailed for, right and wrong is all in our minds. Based on our beliefs and how we're trained, whether you're Christian or a pagan or this and that. Right and wrong is all in our minds. What I may consider wrong, you may consider right. So it's not about none of that. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I'm getting you, but
you
I
are
still
getting me
believe
small.
people can change.
I need to give you.
People can
I need to
change.
do a Kobe one-on-one lesson.
You need to give people the chance to change.
No, enough. I'm not talking again. Now, something. Let's come to you. You're the only one who agreed with me that people can change. But let's move away from that. Yeah. Cheating in marriages is such a big thing. Yeah. In fact, this week I saw a podcast where the lady specifically said that it is because of side chicks that people's marriages are flourishing.
Yeah.
Because when the husband closes from work and spends quality time with her, even if it's for 30 minutes, by the time he goes home, he has shock absorbers for whatever will happen at home. He can face his wife fair and square because he's had some good loving.
That's not true.
Okay.
There is no man that will leave the home and then will not remember that getting home is the best feeling for them.
Is it always the best feeling?
Yes, it's always the best feeling, except when there is an agent of disturbance in the house.
Where is that agent from?
Yes, from the opposite sex as usual.
Agent of disturbance is in the house.
Except in that cases.
But would you agree that marriage is tough? You're married. Would you agree that marriage is tougher than being in a relationship?
Yes, I will agree with you that marriage is tough. And also, there was something I read some days ago said the earlier you get married, the easier you can come out. And then the older you get married, the more the chances of staying forever. I don't know if you get my point.
Oh, so the earlier, so if you marry young, you'll be out of the relationship.
Yeah, there are chances that you might get out because of the fact that you don't really know the person that much, and even the person doesn't know you well enough.
They don't know themselves.
Yes, it's not about your present self, but even your self that will be transforming. You understand? People transform over time.
Yeah.
So marrying a girl of 20 will not be the same girl at 30.
Yeah.
And so many things would have happened within that 10 years.
Yeah. We evolve, right?
We evolve.
We evolve as people.
Yeah, so
I think that's the word I was looking for early on.
Coping with...
We don't change, we evolve.
We evolve.
That's
so
what it is.
coping with all the evolving effects.
Yeah.
Evolving effects, coping with it over and over and over. It's not easy for partners. You as a woman, sometimes you might just look at your man like, so you cannot control this your stomach again. So this is not how I married. Like you have started, the stomach is coming out and out. It's pissing her off. But you know, you have to live with it. The same thing with the woman, with the man too. Sometimes you look at your woman that have given birth to two. Like, are you not going to do something about this, your stomach?
Yeah.
So then it look like you are looking at the guests outside. You say, no, I'm looking at you. That's why I'm saying, do something about the stomach. So you see,
that conversation, I'm not comfortable with that conversation because I know men who would say that, but why is he, why, you have become so big. Meanwhile, this woman has popped out like five children.
you see.
So if you're saying that, I feel like you're very unreasonable.
Yeah,
now.
being unreasonable is part of
selfish.
life, and that is why I said the
That's
toughness
being
in
selfish.
the marriage. The man is passing
There
through
is,
all that.
after popping out
They are
five
selfish.
children,
Which the man is
you
happy
want me
for.
to
Very
still
selfish.
look trim and sexy.
Why are you laughing?
What kind of selfishness is that?
It's not
They
being
are very
selfish.
selfish.
It's just being real.
No,
Real.
real.
Yeah.
Was that
Because
how she
the
was when
woman
you
too
got
also
married
talk
to
to
her?
their. The women also talk to
Okay,
their men
so
that you
I
are
think
drinking
that
beer
we're
too much.
going
Your
to-
stomach is
taking
coming
care of
out.
herself. After marriage, then they stop taking care of themselves.
You have 5 children. The woman is taking care of these 5 children.
Kobe,
She's watching for them, taking them to
you
school,
said
doing everything.
that
What's the time that she
before
have to take care of
It's the
herself?
same thing. Looking for money,
Okay,
doesn't have time to
Samson.
check his
No,
stomach
no,
and
okay.
he's drinking
No,
beer.
Puska and
No,
Samson,
no, no,
calm
no,
down,
no.
calm down.
Hey.
Kobe said something. You said that, yes, before marriage, a woman will take care of herself, but after that, she lets herself go. When you say that, what exactly do you mean?
You know, when girls are younger, they tend to do a lot of things to
Concerned
keep
about the
themselves
makeups, concerned
update.
about
You
the
get
hair.
it? A lot. You get it? She doesn't want to go out without the hair. She doesn't want to do this. She doesn't want to do that. She always wants to look glamour. You get it? But then, after marriage, this is me. Right.
Do you know how...
What do you mean by this is me? I want you to justify
hold
that.
on, Puska. Do you know how that doesn't even make sense, what
It
you
is
just said?
heartbreaking, heartbreaking comments.
Because
I'm
let me
telling
paint you a picture, okay? Let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
Imagine me, I'm sitting here. If I have 3 children at home or 4 children at home, right? I wake up to take care of these 3 children or 4 children, drop them off at school, do breakfast, whatever, drop them off at school, then come home, get ready, go to work, and come back, help them do homework, fix food, da-da-da-da-da. You expect that you come home to me looking like this? Is that realistic in your mind? It adds up. Like the calculation adds up. When a single girl who doesn't take care of any kids or doesn't have any major responsibility is looking the part, good hair, good makeup, whatever, it's because she really has nothing to do. Wait, hold on. Because she really has nothing to do. She can afford the time to do that. Exactly. But when a woman is taking care of kids, taking care of you, you expect her to always look that way? Do you see how unrealistic that is?
Now, as I was saying,
before you even come, I'm cutting you. Or before you come in, some of them are very lazy. They don't help the spouse at home. They don't help their wives.
No.
They prefer to be pressing their phones, and the woman is there working a slave.
Do you know that?
What are you talking?
It's both ways.
No,
it's not both ways.
Something.
You people are
Do you
very
know,
selfish.
Kobe, that
Very selfish.
when women have kids, especially for women who do CS, do you know how difficult it is to wear heels after that?
Okay.
Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
You know that?
Yes.
Right. But you would expect that this woman who may have had these kids, whether natural birth, CS, whatever, would look a certain way in your mind, the way you met her 10 years ago, will still look that way for you. Because then you can say things like, oh, before marriage, she was this, and after marriage. Anytime I hear that, honestly, I want to throw my shoe at the person.
I'm telling you.
You have a point.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
You have a point
Do you
with the
think I
scenario
give
that
up?
you just put up.
No.
But then in
Do you
other
think-
scenarios, you
what other scenarios?
have the woman not
What
trying.
other scenarios?
Not trying as how? As
Tell me
how?
what the other scenarios are.
As how? She's not
Listen,
trying
we are
as
talking
how. I
About
want to
being
know.
unkept now. We are
Yes.
talking about being unkept.
Thank you.
being
If you're not
a
helping this
professional as you
woman,
are right now.
Right.
People are
sure
wicked.
that-
Some
Let's-
women
no,
will just
okay,
be in
calm
the house
down,
and then they
calm
just
down.
throw their
No.
Show their
calm
words.
down.
everywhere.
No,
That
calm
means that's
down.
what she used to do before you started dating her.
Puska,
Yeah.
Puska, calm down.
So, let's-
Samson,
yes,
speak.
yeah.
Right.
Now, we're talking about being unkept after marriage.
Right.
And now, you being a professional,
Uh-huh.
do you think there will be any house chores, taking care of children, like you have 3 children now, and you are still working here? Would there be any reason why you will be unkept?
If I'm at work, I will be kept. But do you know what I look like when I'm at home?
No, but the fact that you are going to get dressed from your house,
Yeah.
you look kept from your house, and you are still going to look kept back to your house.
Yes, but when I'm inside the house, let's say I have a man. Let's say I have a
It's
man.
different from
By
being
the time
kept.
he's coming home to see me, do you know what
issue
he'll
of
come and
laziness.
miss?
There's issue of laziness when we talk about being kept and unkept.
All right.
Laziness.
Yes, issue of laziness. There are some people that are just naturally lazy.
You men must think that waking up and, dressing nicely and putting on makeup is something that, especially for women who are taking care of kids and have a lot of responsibility, you think it's easy, it comes to them easily, just wake up and do spick and span? Do you have any idea?
You see,
We're
took
going to
the whole
go and see
narrative.
what
You
our
took
sex
the whole
position is.
narrative.
At this point, I'm really upset. Kobe, please go. I'm done with you.
Seriously, Natalia.
Let's get our sex position of the week. This is Duvet. It looks like tonight my guests are not working well with me. Something first says marriage is the ultimate for a woman. Yeah. I'm upset. Then Kobe says, sex position of the week. We'll be right back. Sex position of the week: rice and sesame. Imagine the difficulty of separating a mixture of rice grains and sesame seeds. This is the intensely close connection that Vatsyayana pictured for moments of peak desire. Try rice and sesame when you are blind with passion. There are no strict rules for this. You simply fall onto the bed together, wrap your arms and legs around each other's bodies, then wrist and roll and join the feeling of complete rapture. This embrace also happens to be ideal when you're both in a playful mood and want to fool around before making love. All right, so that is how you know how heated the situation is right here, because it feels like Puska and I want to throw these men off the sets. I want to throw my shoe at you. I do. And I'm sure I'll do it before the show comes to an end. So our sex position of the week, and definitely, Kobe, you said you've tried this, right? You've tried our sex position of the week. You saw it? Or you were busy arguing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're going to have to show a little bit of it so that we can see it all over again. Rice and sesame, that's what it is. Yeah? You're familiar with this?
You said I told you I've tried.
You haven't?
Well, I have.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong. Any comments on this?
Yeah, it's very emotional. Yeah, it's not like the rough ones, you know.
It's very sensual.
Yeah, this gives more emotion, more feeling to it, and it easily makes you come.
You mean for the man?
Yeah.
Puska, are you familiar with this position?
Yeah, but I feel it's boring.
It's boring.
Yeah,
It's boring for you.
It's Old Testament for me.
Oh, okay. Old Testament.
Yeah.
Samson?
Yeah. It's nice sex position, but I think that position, I'm saying is the end product of doggy. Sometimes when the lady is tired and she just lie down, instead of kneeling down, then you go to this rice
And sesame.
You ain't be stressing the guy.
It's like a finishing of doggy, and the legs are weak.
And the legs are weak. Then you settle for this.
Yeah.
All right. So, gosh, the argument in the studio. I still cannot believe some of the things I've heard tonight. But anyway, Kobe, I think maybe to a certain extent, I can understand where you're coming from, to a certain extent. Okay, to a certain extent. I do agree, to a certain extent, that there are some people who let themselves go. I do agree, to a certain extent. But I also agree that, especially when a woman starts having children, it takes a toll on her. Yeah? It does. And I see that men like to do this type of comparison when they say that, but I know this girl in my office, she has 5 kids, and you should see the way she looks. You have only 1 child every day. You look at the way you are looking. And it is such a horrible comparison that men make. I hear that all the time because a lot of things come to play, right? We're all different. We're all different people, okay? Once upon a time, I was told that if you want to know the future of your wife, look at your mother-in-law, okay? You may marry a woman who's a size 10, but maybe her mother is a size 24, right? So it kind of gives you an idea of what the future looks like. I mean, there are people, or there are some families who are fat-boned. Yeah. You can't avoid it. And so you cannot compare this woman from a family that have big-boned family to another woman who is from a family where they are all skinny and say things like, oh, but she has 4 kids and she still looks skinny. Genetics. Unfair. Unreasonable. makes no sense. You don't agree?
I agree with you.
I agree.
But
So-
far from our argument.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is that men really want, you know? It is the reason why people will sit on podcasts and say things like, oh, but then if I'm a side chick, I'm able to satisfy the man and do this and that for him, and I know his wife would never do that. True. His wife will never do that. She's tired.
She's exhausted.
She's tired.
Yes.
She's tired. From taking care of kids, running a business, doing up and down, doing this, and you are her priority. If your mom is unwell, that's her problem. You know that.
Yeah.
If your mom is unwell, it's not the girl's problem. She should wake up and dress up waiting for you. No concern, no responsibility, no nothing. But your wife has major responsibilities. So at the end of the day, you don't expect her to do monkey diving and land on your penis. She can't, she's tired. And if men cannot deal with that reality, then they are the problem and it's not the woman's problem. If you can't deal with the reality that your wife that has had 3, 4, 5 children and is running a business with you and is trying to work on your finances and is taking care of you from time to time, is too tired to do monkey skills in the bedroom. If you cannot understand that, then you are the problem.
Big problem.
Yep. Agreed. But we are far from that.
We are far
Apart
from that.
yeah.
All right, so player Kelly.
Director Kelly.
So, you know, the people who have decided to play for this and that reason, somebody got a heartbreak, this and that, do they get to a point where they think that, Charlie's enough, my bro, let me stop and find one person?
They'll even be afraid.
I could
to
say
"Oh, I
yes,
wanna
but
stop."
you made a point that people don't change. So at what point are they going to change?
Maybe
You
they
said
get
people
tired.
don't change. So
They get tired
and
and decide that, my bro, let me settle down
They
with
come
it.
Of
out
course,
will
let me
after
come
them.
in from there,
Come out will
Natalia.
go
When you
after them.
talk about people getting tired of cheating and then they want to change, sometimes it's not just about
They want to settle down. They don't want to
settle
change.
down. Yeah, they want to settle down. You see, sometimes a lot of things comes with maturity. I was listening to a program some time ago. The man was making mention that there could be a couple living together and the man is always zigzag, stressing the wife, stressing the woman. The woman has given birth to 1, 2, 3. And it will only take him inside that his misconduct, sitting somewhere, doing his usual misconduct life of drinking or smoking, and then somehow that maturity will just come and then the thing will just hit you in the head like, man, this woman that I've been stressing over the years, so far I've not even seen any of my friends that have stand by me anytime I'm down. This woman, I'm always stressing her, giving me children. It's high time I really put an end to this. I think
is that not change?
it's like, I've stressed, man, no. This woman, I think it's enough. As in, even your woman will be one, you come back that day, the whole change has started. Like, you will be telling her, Charlie, I've changed. No, don't come in. I've stopped that. It's just like that. So, changes comes with maturity sometimes. It comes to a time, that is why you see people trying to survive relationships, though they know that their partners are cheating. They know that this thing that is worrying this person, if it's
One day,
spiritual,
I'll pray. One
if
day
it's
he'll
spiritual, it will
change.
be out. If it's physical, definitely he should be able to. Personally, let me talk about myself personally. I am not totally clean, but I have improved myself over time.
Good job.
Like, I would say that the way I was in secondary school is not the same way I was in university. It's not the same way I am after university days. Because, you see, like, when I was in secondary school, I used to be very intelligent, and maybe all the girls in my class, anybody that comes for their homework, we are at home. Once we are alone, we start to do our sports things. The same way it got to the university, I started having a relationship that I know dating somebody and having another person will hurt the person or to cause quarrel, to cause problem. The fear of two girls quarreling, it made me to like, I have to arrange myself. I will not be the one that will make people not to be shouting and quarreling, and I will not be running and hiding my face. So that one, I had to begin to work on myself in that. Then it moved from there to getting into unemployment life. I go here, I go here, I go here, I go here. Like, I started dating, and also, it comes to a different stage. And
Right.
it comes to that stage where you now even look at your own children. Like, there was a time I totally stopped drinking because of, I had a bad accident that night
Right.
after drinking. So it was dawned on me that early morning, like, Charlie, you wanted to kill yourself just like that.
Yeah. I understand.
Throughout a very long time, if anybody called me for a drink, no,
You won't do
please,
that.
I won't do that again. So
Interesting.
changes comes
Yeah,
with life.
With life. Okay.
So you've
So so let's wrap this up. Okay, let's wrap this up. In wrapping up, Director, what will be your final words?
My final words is that, you know, people do change. So if
Give them-
you are someone in a relationship or marriage and then you're having problems with your partner, you think your partner is changing, sit the person down, ask the person, what is making you go out there? What don't I have that is making you go out there? If the person is not able to open up to you, go to someone that you know that the person really trusts and can open up to. If you try that approach, it doesn't work, try a counselor, let your partner go to therapy. If all that does not work, then maybe you can look elsewhere by, you know, asking for divorce or breakup. But believe, Jesus Christ believes in all of us. So I do
All
believe
right,
that people can change.
Okay. All right, Puska, final words.
Yeah, to all of my beautiful mothers out there, I want to say shout out to you. These men here, they were trying to pull our legs. Please, if you are giving birth, you got married, you have children, please start to take care of yourself and make yourself attractive to your husband or your spouse so that that person will still be attracted to you.
Okay.
Because that's one of the issues that they are pressing on today. And also, yeah, you should be careful whoever you are dating. Don't be going from place to place before you get sickness.
Yeah.
Diseases are all around.
Yeah.
As we speak, Ghana is carrying lots of HIV people. I think about 30,000. I don't know how many plus.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging.
The numbers are growing.
Yes, they are growing. The youth out there, they should be very careful and they should have safe sex.
Okay.
All right, there's condoms,
All right.
lots of things.
Okay,
Yeah.
Samson.
Yeah, for me, I want to say that, of course, it's possible to change. So I want us to believe that we can change from our vices, whatever it is. There's time for everything. Even if you are so much into whatever you do right now, the change will always come when you know it is time for you to change. And the best thing is to do the best things, to be on the virtue side and not the vices.
Okay.
So all of us, we should try and always do the right thing and
Okay.
take care of our wives.
All
and
right, your
husbands.
social media handles.
Sammy the mechanic rather.
Sammy the mechanic.
Yeah.
Puska, your social media.
Puska Karina,
Okay.
Facebook, IG, Puska_Karina. My real page is Real Fredica.
Okay.
Yeah.
On all social media, Director Kelly Kobe Blues. My
Okay.
work handle is KKB Studio B.
Okay. All right, guys, so this is where we draw the curtain. Thank you so much for spending time with us. My name is Natalia. Connect with me on social media at Yes, I Am Natalia. We do this again Saturday, 10 p.m. GHOne television. Enjoy your night.